Hello guys, today I am going to discuss about the SA node potential, and we will compare with SA node action potential or AV node action potential also with the cardiac action potential. So in SA node action potential we have three phases: phase 4, phase 0 and phase 3. But in cardiac action potential, as we have already seen in my previous video, see, in cardiac action potential we have five phases: phase 0, phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, and finally phase 4. Okay, so in SA node action potential, first of all we will see that its RMP is around about -60, where in cardiac action potential that consists of atrial fibers, ventricular fibers and bundle of his and Purkinje fibers also. So in that what happens, it is -85 to -90 millivolts. So this is the first difference, and we can see here, see in phase 4, see in phase 4 here, see this is a constant line here, constant line we can see here, and this is a phase 4 constant gradual, not gradual but static line. But here we can see a gradual rise. This is also a resting membrane potential, but we can say that resting membrane potential in this is not resting. Actually we can see here also, see, first of all it is -60 here. Now it self-excitatory, as SA node is a self-excitatory node, so it reaches gradually up to -40. So and then suddenly threshold it reaches here. So in first of all, in resting membrane potential is not resting. Why, we will see now only. So it reaches from -60 to -40 here. So what happens in phase 4? So why there is a gradual rise from -60 or to -40, or we can say that there is a decrease in electronegativity. So let's make a small SA node cell here. So what happens in SA node? So I made a SA node cell here, myocyte. So there are something called as funny or leaky sodium channels, which are different from the voltage gated sodium channels, which we have seen in phase 0 of and phase 0 both of cardiac action potential and SA node. We will see again. So these are something called as leaky channels. We can think of the leaky water pipe from which constantly there is a leakage of some water. So same thing happens here in case of sodium, these channels, leaky channels. And these are something called as T-type calcium channels also. These are also different from the L-type slow calcium channels, which I've already seen in plateau phase of cardiac action potential. So what happens, there are constantly influx of both these two ions, sodium and calcium ions. So electronegativity constantly decrease, and after some times it reaches from -60 to -40. So yeah, along with these there is something very little potassium efflux also occur. So mainly because of these two channels, that is funny channels of sodium and T-type calcium channels, this pacemaker is not rested. So we can say that resting membrane potential is not rested in the SA node or AV node. Okay, so after reaching the -40, there is after threshold line, so there is a rapid influx of the sodium ions through the sodium voltage gated channels, as we have seen in this phase. So we can say basically phase 0 of SA node action potential and in cardiac action potential both are same. Okay, so but here we are seeing phase 1 and phase 2, which are absent in phase this SA node action potential. Why? Because there is no role of slow L-type calcium voltage gated channels, as we have seen here. So directly after depolarization, there is a repolarization through the efflux of the potassium ions through the opening of the voltage gated potassium ions. Okay, so there is a absence of phase 1 and phase 2 in this, and also we can say that after phase 3 there is again phase 4. So phase 4, if it is reached up to -60, but as we have discussed, it will not remain -60, it will again go to -40, and again the cycle starts. So this is a self-excitatory. So In phase 4 we will just recap what we have discussed and try to make some difference and compare all these two. In phase 4 what we have discussed, in first of all there is a difference in the action resting membrane potential. It is here minus 60 and it is minus 85 or minus 90. And secondary, that in phase 4 these are due to the leaky channels and T-type calcium channels, but here it is predominantly about due to the domination of the potassium channels which are open here. So phase 0 is basically same, and phase 1 and phase 2 are absent in the node action potential, and phase 3 is also mostly same. Okay, so now we will discuss about try to correlate about the cardiac action potential with the impulse and ECG of the heart. Okay.